Hey guys, it's MontyCat1432 from Team O.M.G. Vanguard. Welcome to actually my first deck, what would you call it, like a deck profile video. I know my friend Solomon has put out tons of these on his channel, and I thought, hey, I might as well put out one on this channel until I can get my channel up and going. In which time, I'm hoping to transfer this video over to that one, so... But this deck profile is actually going to be on probably my personal favorite deck. Yes, I started with this deck just because I wanted to. It's actually... Ah, come on. Oh, there it goes. My Battle Sister deck. Now, if you're wondering why this deck is my favorite, it's actually the first deck I was actually able to put together for a tournament. Like, it was my own... Like, my decks before it, like... were decks more my friends put together for me, but this was a deck that I had truly put together myself, and I thought I did really good on it. It's not done yet, but I feel like it's close to being done. So, now the grade 0 starter I have put into this deck is Waffle. The reason why I put Waffle into the deck is just because of her effect. Waffle's effect pretty much is I counterblast one, throw her into the soul, look at the top 3. I choose one of the cards, call it out, and that unit gets +2 for the turn. Now, this ability is really nice depending on what's there. Now, this ability can be bad just because if you run into, let's say, all like 3 triggers. But it's really good, let's say, if you pull out a grade 3. Now, that's the reason why I run Waffle. Some people will actually run like the grade 3 Searcher, but that one's not as effective as Waffle is because this allows you to keep stuff in your hand for guard and for calling out stuff later. And I like to use this on turn 2, so just because it's like, boom, I have an extra card out there right away. But sometimes I will wait and do this effect later on, just because. Alright. I'm going to go to the grade 0 lineup. It's going to be 4 crit, 4 heal, 4 stand, and then 4 draw. Now, people always ask me, why don't I run more crit and no stand? And the reason why I don't is because I like having the different Battle Sisters. I like to keep this deck as pure Battle Sisters as possible. That's why I do it. And the fact of the stand triggers have helped me win games. So I don't need those extra crit in there to win games with this deck. My friends will truly say that. I don't need extra crit in this deck to win. So... yeah, so I'm going to move on to the grade 1 lineup now, which I put in 4 P-Guards into the deck, standard. People often ask me why I don't run just 3. It's because, like, in this deck, you actually do need the P-Guards, in my opinion. And the P-Guards actually, it's interesting on the lore of Chocolat. Like, she's the only one who can wield the weapon in her picture. So, a lot of the cards in here I also like for lore base, so I run 3 Battle Sister Coco. Now, the reason why I run Coco is for her effect. Like, she's probably the absolute best one to do turn 1, just because it's like, the other ones, like, Chocolat you use for P-Guard, and Candy would be used for more of Cream's effect, which I'll go into them a little later. So she's probably the best one for turn 1, and she's also a good card to, let's say, if you play her late in the game, you can start setting up for those drive checks right away. So she's really, really nice. So, next one is Battle Sister Cream. Now, this is probably the next best choice for riding the Vanguard turn 1, is because Cream's ability works off of the grade 3 Battle Sister Cookie, you know, cookies and cream, that sort of thing. Is the reason why they put the names like it. So, with her skill, you just Soul Blast 1 pretty much, and you add +5 to Cream. So that's why, to Cookie, I mean. So, Cookie plus Cream, it's actually a nice column to hit with. So, but let's say you don't get anything else but this. This isn't the worst thing to write on turn 1. So that's why I run 3. I run 2 of the Damage Adder. It's the one where it says Counterblast 1 and add an extra damage. I run 2 of this just because I don't like writing to this, just because then it's pretty much a waste. But let's say I'm at 3 damage, I have this in my hand, and I have a chance to do some serious damage to my opponent. I will play this, use its skill, and then really hurt my opponent a bit. This is a nice card for like pretty much 3/4 out of my grade 3 lineup are all limit breaks, so that's why this card's really, really nice. So this actually took me a while to find these, just because these are promo cards. So if you guys are looking for these, like, even I had a hard time finding them. So, and the last thing is, it's the only non-Battle Sisters in the deck are Oracle, Guardian, Gemini. I run 2 of these just because I like to keep this deck as like Battle Sister based as possible. But this card's really nice to run behind Vanguard. It's pretty much the only spot I'll run it behind. But there is one grade 3 where I will run it behind just because it's nice. But this card right here is another reason why I've won a lot of games with this deck. Just because this comboing with the main grade 3 of the deck is a really nice combination. So that's the reason why I run Oracle, Guardian, Gemini. Even though I like to keep the deck Battle Sister based, it turns out that this thing's really, really nice. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the grade 2s. And the grade 2s are, I run 4 of the 10K. Now, I run 4 of the 10K just because it's a nice card to even put on rearguard. Let's say you're stuck at grade 2 and you're stuck with this thing. This thing is nice because you can get over a lot of... there's still a lot of Vanguards now, grade 3 Vanguards, that are still 10Ks, and that way, if you only had this and you didn't have anything behind it, you could still use this and still combat it really nicely. Next, I run 3 of the when this card, it's Macaron. It's the one where it's the +3 adder when she attacks, as long as I have a Battle Sister. Yeah, Vanguard. So, and this is actually a nice card to run Gemini with, because it becomes a 20K column. So that's why I like it. Just because I haven't decided if I want to run 4 of her. I have run into spots where I've had to ride her, so that's why I like to keep it at 3, but I don't know. Just something different. Next, I run 2 Better Sister Mocha. Now, Mocha is an unusual card to run. Just because if you have to ride her, she's really bad. But if you get her on rearguard, and there are some cards that... There are some of my grade 3s that say it allows you to draw cards. And if I have enough cards in my hand, she's nice. But other than that, I'm debating whether to take her out of the deck. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. But she's just an interesting one in my opinion. For her ability, she's been in there since BT01. Yes, I've got 2 BT01 versions here. So, and the last grade 2 I run is Battle Sister Coquette. Now, Battle Sister Coquette's a nice card to add extra cards to the hand. That's the reason, you counterblast 1 to pretty much add an extra card to your hand. But it is only adding 1 card. If she added more, I would run 4 of her non-stop. But she is only, she's not that bad of a Vanguard, but she does need to hit for her effect to be useful. So, that's another reason why I won't run 4 of her. I mean, the other effects of my grade 2s, like, they don't have to hit. They just only have to attack a lot of them, so that's why I only run 2. I'm debating whether to run a 3rd and get rid of Mocha altogether, so I don't know. I'm still debating. Alright, on to my grade 3s. I run 2 Battle Sister Cookie. Now, people ask me why I run 3 cream and only 2 cookie. I'll say this. What if you run into a situation, oh, I have to ride 1 cream at the beginning, and you're stuck in that way. And if you only had 2 cream, and if you only ran 2 cream and 2 cookie, and you had to ride 1 at the beginning, oh, I have both of my cookies out on the field, but I can only put 1 cream behind one of them. At least this way, I'll have 2 creams to put behind 2 cookies, and her effect is actually not that bad, but she's not the greatest Vanguard. When this card unit is placed on Vanguard, I counterblast 2, draw 2 cards, look at, then choose a card from my hand and discard it. Now, that effect's okay, it's just not the greatest thing in the world. So, but it's still a nice card to have on rearguard, even though it is a 10k. I can still get that boost off with cream, and it still becomes a really kind of effective combination. Next thing is Battle Sister Souffle. Now here's the main card I like having on rearguard, just because of her skill. It's like, oh, I get +2 when boosted by an Oracle Think Tank card. This is another card I like running Gemini with, just because it would become a 20k column, and once it becomes a 20k column, that actually is really effective. 20k columns cause your opponent to have to put up at least a 10k in shields, and that actually can hurt your opponent a bit. Now, nowadays it's not as good, but still, in my opinion, I still like it, so that's why I run her. The next card I am running, I'm actually changing out. It's actually going to become 4 Battle Sister Parfait, but for now I actually also run 2 Battle Sister Fromage and 2 Parfait. I'm actually trying to get my hands on 2 more of these to replace Fromage with. Fromage was a nice card to have at the start of when Battle Sisters started to truly come out and become an archetype. But when people realized, like, Fromage, like, if you were to run 4 Fromage, like, and having 1 on rearguard, it pretty much is useless on rearguard. Yeah, Parfait is also not that good, but Parfait is also an 11k. So if you have an 11k on rearguard, it's not bad. Fromage is just a 10k. So, and Parfait, like, if you have 3 or less cards in your hand, you counterblast 2, and you can add more cards back to your hand. But if you've got 4 more cards in your hand, when you're attacking, it gets +3, and if the attack hit, it allows you to draw an extra card. Right there can be the difference between win or losing with this deck. Parfait is so nice just because of that effect. Getting that ability to draw that extra card, it legitimately meant the game for me, like winning or losing. Fromage, in my opinion, not enough. It takes too much counterblast to use. Not a good enough power bonus, and having to have 4. I repeat, 4 Battle Sister rearguards for her to get the power bonus. She's too much cost for not enough reward, and there's plenty of reward for her cost on Parfait. So that's why I want to replace the fromages for Parfaits. So I'm actually going to be putting out here, hopefully in a little while, guys, to putting out like a trade binder video, to where if you guys wanted to trade cards, we would be able to. I am looking for 2 of these, so if any of you guys have them, I'm willing to like trade you for them, or even buy them from you. So just let me know, guys. Oh, and I'm gonna quickly show you guys like one of the like the better formations for the deck. All right, guys, I've set up pretty much like what an ideal setup for me would be, like having Souffle, Gemini, Parfait, Gemini, and then Cream and Cookie and Cream. And then having 5 damage, like, if it's counterblasted, it doesn't hurt me that much. But for an ideal setup, I like running 5, like, done damage. Now, I only have 3 cards in my hand. This is where Parfait's skill is nice, where I would counterblast 2 and draw an extra card, which is kind of nice. Now, if I were to attack, let's say if I were to start with here, if I were to start with here, I would attack, and then I would get, it would be a 19 total, but since I have 4 more cards in my hand, I get a +3, so it would be 22, and then if my attack would hit, let's say my opponent guards and I need 1 to pass, boom, and okay, so the attack wouldn't pass. But if the attack would hit, I would get to draw an extra card. So that's the nice thing about her. So, and that added, and if the attack were to hit, it would give me having, instead of drawing just 2 cards, I can draw 3. So, and then for this setup, it would be a 20, and if I would have had any damage, I would have added it here. And then with this, I would just, if I were to attack here, I would just Soul Blast. I would just Soul Blast 1 out, put it in the drop zone, and then that would be a 25 at my opponent, like a 21 at my opponent, which is also a nasty column. So this is what my ideal setup would be, guys. But I want to know what you guys think of the deck. The deck's not complete, like I said. There are still some cards I want to take out and replace. I'm still fiddling with the deck a bit, but I'm almost ready to call this deck finished, unlike some of my friends who say they already finished decks and then they go back to it. But I truly think I like the deck. It's my favorite deck. It's my favorite clan. So this is, I want to know what you guys think. And as I said, I'll do my best to try and put out a trade binder video in the next few weeks, hopefully. But this has been MyCat1432 from Team O.M.G. Vanguard, signing off, guys. Bye.